Trump is like an improv actor, making it up as he goes along at these rallies, oblivious to the truth. He is addicted to TV shows that tell him he is right when he is wrong. So he gets misled by Fox and by Fox and Friends, and then he misleads everyone else.
I think you can border on being sort of quite a ridiculous figure. It's not a good look to repeatedly and self-righteously defend your own self-interest. The media should not be the story. Every week, in this religious sense, you make it the story. We are not the story.
You think there's room for 1 hour a week on CNN for this? When you see entire media companies essentially exist to tear down Joe Biden, is there an equivalent to that on the left tearing down Trump?
Yeah! This motherfucker's a retard.
I mentioned at the top of the hour, Chris Wallace surprising everyone by leaving Fox News. Well, it turns out he is joining CNN, specifically to become an anchor on CNN Plus. That's the streaming service that's going to be launching in early 2022. This new streaming video service is launching on Tuesday. It's a big deal in the media business because it's the biggest bet any company has made in the news streaming world. CNN's hired hundreds of people and created dozens of new shows for the service.
2 seconds later.
CNN Plus shutting down. This is just a month after it launched. Variety was first to report today that CNN's new parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery, will end the streaming service. CNN host Brian Stelter confirming the news himself on Twitter, saying CNN Plus will shut down on April 30th.
Instead of cutting off a segment for a commercial break, you'd let stories be as long or as short as they deserve, because there are no ads or hard outs.
Well, that didn't take long. CNN Plus closing up shop just weeks after its launch late last month.
This is Wallace's statement adding, "As I embark on this adventure, I am honored and delighted to join Jeff Zucker and his great team. I can't wait to get started."
And just like that, CNN Plus is shutting down, not even a month in.
He says, "I am thrilled to join CNN Plus. After decades in broadcasting cable news, I'm excited to explore the world of streaming."
CNN Plus, as of next week, will officially be no more.
This mission is over.
And now CNN Plus is officially dead. Now, this $300 million waste of money lasted all of 33 days. As many Twitter users rightly pointed out, a gallon of milk, de Blasio's presidential aspirations, Kamala Harris's presidential campaign, and Seattle's summer of love all lasted longer than fake news CNN Plus.
Nobody cares about CNN Plus because nobody cares about CNN.
The immediate colossal collapse of CNN Plus is a debacle unlike any in American broadcasting history. So how did the most trusted name in news become the joke of the journalism world so quickly? The truth is, it was over before it started.
It's over, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing.
Well, tonight, it is goodbye CNN Plus, less than a month after its launching date. Today, CNN says its streaming service will shut down at the end of the month.
So what happened? A mix of things. CNN Plus was the baby of disgraced former CEO Jeff Zucker. CNN's parent company, Warner Brothers, merging with Discovery. Reports are that the top brass wants all of everything streaming under one app. In a town hall meeting today, the incoming CEO for CNN, Chris Licht, told staffers today it was a, quote, uniquely SHITTY situation. Ooh. Brian Stelter, Zucker's second-hand man and one of the faces of the Plus service, writing today that many of the employees in New York, in shock, after hearing the news, opened up bottles of whiskey and wine to commiserate together.
This will be remembered as one of the great failures in media, and maybe one of the biggest in the modern-day news media.
Hey, let's talk about your new show, Who's Talking to Chris Wallace. I'll bite. Who?
Well, I'll tell you this first. We launch tomorrow, CNN Plus.
That's exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
No. No. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
You both, this thing launches in a couple of days, and you have time to be here with me. It's ready? It's ready to go, Alex?
We are ready.
No. She wasn't ready.
I was describing the different layers of CNN Plus. What makes it different from what's out there already?
So CNN Plus is our new news streaming service that leverages CNN's trust and credibility, the incredible journalistic expertise of this organization to bring new forms of storytelling to customers.
That's right. After hundreds and millions of dollars invested into this venture and a team of more than 500 employees working on the product, it's been canned. Media reports show that management was shocked at the low numbers of people actually signing up. And is it any wonder, with one of their main shows being Brian Stelter with reliable sources?
They hired Eva Longoria, the actress, and Sanjay Gupta, I guess he's there anyway, a whole bunch of people I never heard of, along with their regular contributors. Okay, but nobody watches their regular contributors. So why would you pay? If nobody's watching them free, why would you pay? You wouldn't.
And apparently Americans were not willing to fork over $3 whole for a daily dose of Humpty Dumpty or the occasional interview from liberal swamp creature Chris Wallace. Apparently, as it is, Americans get more than enough fake news. If they're not watching the regular channel, why are they going to pay for an extra channel?
Well, when your main draw card is Brian Stelter, you are in trouble.
Well, I think rather than asking the question of like why it failed, I think a better question would be, what was the rationale for why it would have succeeded? I'm kind of joking, but not really.
Yeah.
Like,
they spent $300 million on it. It's $100 to $200 million advertising specifically. That is like the rollout of a new Marvel movie in terms of its advertising budget, but it just didn't work.
But this is what you get when you go so woke that inevitably you go broke.
Well, what you said about go woke, go broke is absolutely true, because they started with an ideological agenda and everything had to fit in with that agenda.
CNN, which is not a credible news organization.
You know, my mother-in-law comes over to help watch the kids, and she always puts on CNN. And do you know what those fucking morons are doing? Do you know what those fucking morons are doing? They're fucking talking about Trump. I swear to God, I cannot believe people watch that channel. They're so dumb. It's like, do you think these people give a fuck? They want him to come back because they got nothing to talk about because it's show business, and Joe Biden is a fucking bore. They can't bitch about him because he's wearing a blue tie. So now what do? They're going out there, they're doing what they did the first time to get this guy elected by giving him all this free coverage while they act like they allegedly don't like him. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. They're a corporate news channel, and they're fucking treasonous, un-American pieces of shit.
Many of the CNN anchors and staff felt it was their mission to take Trump down, that he was a uniquely evil politician and covering him required a sacrifice of objectivity. Or maybe they just convinced themselves that he was objectively terrible and there was no other way to examine his presidency. Either way, little by little, they killed their own reputation. Night by night, as they mocked his voters, derided them all as racists over and over, misogynists and bigots, and misled the public on things like Russiagate without ever correcting themselves. They telegraphed their hatred, not just for Trump, but for the right half of the country, their smug superiority. And the right half of the country, and indeed the center, many of whom wound up voting for Trump, heard that message loud and clear.
Somehow CNN Plus was even worse than Truth Social. And now it's going away forever.
And let's just quickly point out, obviously this is bad for CNN Plus, but like, dude, Trump, you launched Truth Social. Like, how's that going? Like, and you could do something about that. You don't have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars. You could like log on or something. So again, that's in the process of like folding while he's making fun of CNN Plus.
And if you look at what's happening to Truth after we've only been open just a few days, we're adding people just in droves. I mean, we're already just climbing.
Amid these bruising headlines, folks are trying to make sense of it, and some partisans are leaping to predictable talking points about politics. But the truth is, this was a corporate move. This CNN Plus service was doomed because of the timing of a merger and clashing streaming strategies.
CNN Plus, that's what the people want. More of what they're already not watching. Only we'll charge them $60 a year to watch it. Is it any wonder no one tuned in?
CNN Plus is liberal plus, and you get that everywhere you turn. Whether it's award shows or other networks or TV shows or movies, it's everywhere. So I don't think it is anything different or exciting.
This is the final legacy of the poisonous fraud that was Jeff Zucker. What a rolling calamity this is. It couldn't happen to worse people.